Have you ever looked at the world and felt disgusted? Not just annoyed, not just frustrated. I mean deeply disgusted. You see corruption, rewarded, cruelty, ignored, greed, celebrated. And the worst part? No one gets punished. Now imagine this. What if someone decided to fix it? Not with laws, not with systems, but with judgment. 7 people, each one guilty of a sin, each one chosen, carefully, and each one punished, brutally, not for revenge, but to send a message. And here's the uncomfortable part. What if that message makes sense? What if, deep down, you understand it? And that's exactly the question John Doe forces us to confront. This is Beyond the Villain, where we unmask evil, one story at a time. Tonight we examine not just what John Doe did, but the philosophy that made it inevitable. From the film C7N, portrayed by Kevin Spacey, John Doe isn't just a killer. He's something much worse. He's a man who believes he's right. John Doe represents the logical extreme of moral absolutism and shows what happens when compassion is removed from justice. Here's what makes John Doe different. We don't know where he came from. No childhood story, no trauma, no tragic backstory, nothing. And somehow, that makes him more terrifying. Because John Doe isn't shaped by pain. He's shaped by belief. Ideology over identity. He looks at the world and sees sin everywhere. Gluttony is entertainment. Greed is ambition. Lust is normalized. Pride is rewarded. And people, they just accept it. They scroll past it, laugh at it, ignore it. That's what breaks him. Not the sin itself, but the indifference. The world doesn't fear sin anymore. And then, he makes a choice. A quiet one. A dangerous one. If no one else is going to hold the world accountable, he will. Not as a man, but as a force. The 7 deadly sins. Each murder isn't random. It's designed, calculated, almost ritualistic. Gluttony, forced consumption until death. Greed, flesh taken in payment. Sloth, decay stretched over time. Lust, turned into horror. Pride, ending in self-destruction. This isn't chaos. It's structure. It's belief, turned into action. This is not murder. This is punishment. The turning point. But the real turning point, it's not the first kill. It's the moment he stops seeing people as human and starts seeing them as examples, symbols, lessons. That's when he crosses the line. Not physically, philosophically. The final act, and then the ending. The moment everything clicks, he turns himself in. No fear, no panic, no regret. Because he's not done yet. He needs 2 more sins. Envy, wrath, and he already knows how it ends. He pushes Detective Mills. Just enough. Breaks him. Just enough. And when Mills pulls the trigger, John Doe wins. Because the message is complete. He didn't escape justice. He became it. John Doe doesn't think he's evil, not even close. In his mind, he's necessary. A correction. A response to a broken world. They didn't see themselves as evil. They saw themselves as necessary. At the core of John Doe is a very old idea. Moral absolutism. The belief that right and wrong are fixed, clear, unchanging. The belief system. In this world, sin is real. Sin is objective. And sin must be punished. No excuses, no context, no empathy, just consequences. And if society refuses to enforce those consequences, then society becomes part of the problem. You can hear echoes of thinkers like Immanuel Kant. The idea that moral law is absolute, that actions are either right or wrong. No middle ground. But here's where John Doe twists it. Kant believed in duty. John Doe believes in enforcement. And here's the scary part. His logic works. If sin exists, it should be punished. If it's not punished, it spreads. If it spreads, society collapses. So he acts. step by step, calm, focused, certain. If no one punishes sin, sin becomes normal, the hidden flaw. But this is where everything breaks. Because John Doe assumes something dangerous, that he has the right to judge, that he gets to decide who deserves punishment, what punishment they deserve, and when it should happen, there's no system, no accountability, no mercy. And that's the moment justice turns into tyranny. Now look at the other side. Detective Somerset, Detective Mills. Two completely different responses to the same world. Somerset, controlled awareness. Somerset sees the darkness. He understands it, maybe even agrees with parts of it. But he holds the line. He refuses to become what he's chasing, because he knows, once you justify it, there's no going back. Mills, emotional collapse. Mills is different. He's emotional, reactive, human. And in the end, that's exactly what John Doe needs. Because Mills doesn't defeat him, he completes him. The collision. This is the real conflict, not good versus evil, but control versus conviction. Justice without restraint becomes revenge. This isn't just a movie idea. It happens in real life. There are people who believe the system is broken, too slow, too weak, too corrupt. So they step in, they punish, they act, they decide. And every time it starts the same way, with good intentions. Even today, we see it. Online outrage, public shaming, instant judgment, no trial, no context, just verdict. And the logic sounds familiar. If no one else will do it, we will. The danger isn't justice, it's certainty. Because once someone believes they are absolutely right, there's no limit anymore. The most dangerous people are the ones who think they're right. So now we ask the real question. Was John Doe evil? Or just consistent? Because he didn't invent sin. He revealed it. He didn't create corruption. He exposed it. Would we reject his logic if it benefited us? If the victims were people we hated, would we still call it wrong? Or would we quietly agree? And here's the hardest part. Is his flaw cruelty or honesty? Because John Doe doesn't pretend. He shows you exactly what happens when judgment has no limits. So what do we take from this? Because there is something to learn here. Accountability matters. John Doe is wrong, but the problem he points to is real. When systems fail, people lose trust. And when trust disappears, extremes take over. Compassion is not weakness. Justice needs boundaries. It needs restraint. Because without compassion, punishment becomes cruelty. The balance. We need both. Accountability and empathy, law and understanding, order and humanity. Because if we lose that balance, we don't just create people like John Doe, we justify them. Justice needs limits, or it becomes evil. John Doe isn't chaotic. He isn't irrational. He isn't insane in the way we expect. He's consistent. His goal? Restore moral order. His result? Violence, fear, manipulation. And here's why that matters. Because what makes him dangerous isn't madness. It's belief. He truly believes he's right. And that's what makes him terrifying. Because the most dangerous villains aren't the ones who lie, but the ones who follow their philosophy to its logical end. So let me ask you, is John Doe a monster or a mirror? If the world really lost its sense of right and wrong, would you trust the system to fix it? Or would you be tempted to take justice into your own hands? This has been Beyond the Villain. We unmask evil one story at a time. And now the question is yours.